Manon, I want to ask you, you represent PEN, and the difference between you and Thomas is that you mostly represent writers, but you better explain it yourself.
Yes, because I feel a little bit like a duck in a field of nice colored birds. Because PEN Netherlands, it's short for poets, essayists and novelists, and it's a writers organization. It's very old. Worldwide, I think right now you have 140 national PEN centers, and you have PEN International. It was all, I think, started in England in 1921 and in the Netherlands in 1924. So our organization consists of writers, and with writers I mean writers, not journalists. And there is a difference, and we have last couple of years, or maybe I could even say last decade, we see more and more that in the past we used to give attention to detained writers, to our colleagues that were maybe arrested or prosecuted or even murdered. And we see that with social media and with internet, the world of writing has changed a lot. And right now there are so very many people, I think on yearly basis there's 900 people, journalists and writers that are arrested, and 200 killed every year. And we see that as a writers' organization, we respond more and more to journalistic cases, and that asks sometimes for a very different approach. Our usual approach was like this. We have each PEN center consists of several fields, and one of the fields most important, we always call it the heart, the core business of PEN is the Writers in Prison Committee, and they get on monthly basis they get case lists from PEN International, the PEN head office in London, and on these lists there are writers that are imprisoned and writers that are killed. Each PEN center can choose what cases are you going to ask attention for. It's also, I must say, a kind of a organization that's not used to operate in the center of media attention. Usually it's behind the scenes, and by writing letters to embassies, by supporting writers who are imprisoned financially or their family members. It's done by the PEN Emergency Fund, that's in the Netherlands, and they have quite good funds. Also by inviting writers, if it's possible, to the Netherlands and to give them housing and money for living and to work. Also by translating work and asking attention for their work. And by discussion and debates and putting attention to special cases. And one of my reasons to be present here this evening was not so much to give information as to get information, because every year we also have international PEN conferences, and then all the national PEN centers they gather, and we always find it very useful that each PEN center brings in the special knowledge and information this or that center could get. So for me this is an opportunity to find out much more about the situation in Turkey right now. And of course we do things for Turkey, but we try to operate for all writers, and it's a task far too heavy. You said that NVJ is not a very big organization, but I think it's 10 times as big as the PEN Center in the Netherlands. We are a very small organization. However, we have 400 writing members. And for me, this is a great opportunity to bring a lot of valuable information to my own center and to the International Congress that will be held in October.
And do you have examples maybe of writers that got released where you think you had influence?
Yes, well, in fact, I will start with a very sad case, because one of the things we also do, you mentioned that you have to give people a face and that it helps. Sometimes a lot of attention helps, sometimes, unfortunately, a lot of attention does not help. It depends very much what issue, what government, if there is a government. For example, right now in Mexico and Honduras, writers are killed by the hundreds, and we don't even find out their names because it's all presented as in a slipstream of drug violence and crime, and you don't even find out how many writers are killed. It doesn't always help to give attention, but in a lot of cases it does help. And what we do, for example, apart from what I mentioned earlier, is the yearly Oxfam Novik PEN Awards for writers that are endangered, and they are invited to the Netherlands. One of the cases, it's some while ago, but it's a very sad case, was that of around Dink, and he was given the Oxfam Novik PEN Award, but it didn't protect him in any way because he was killed. In fact, we focus on the most difficult cases, and sometimes you can only attempt to find out what has happened because a writer or a journalist has already been killed, and you want to know what have been the circumstances or the facts. Can we at least get that out and bring that news? For example, I'm not the chair of the Writers in Prison Committee, so I have to look up names. I'm sorry, but there are so many countries. I'm not a Turkey expert. I hope I will be wiser tomorrow. But one of the people that were released, they were here in the end of May at the WIPC ICORN Congress. ICORN is also part of PEN and takes care of houses and places for writers to stay. I hope I pronounce the names right. Ragib and Denise Zarakulu. They were here. They were present, and not both of them. Sorry. Ragib was here, and he was one of the persons that we asked attention for. But there are many more. It's constantly trying to find a balance between who do you give attention and in what way, and who do you try to help behind the screens. And one of the bigger and it's more abstract but also very important things that PEN focuses upon is that recent years, you can see in different countries, Russia, for example, but also in Turkey, the creation of laws that the defamation laws, anti-terror laws, anti-propaganda laws in Russia. We were in Kyrgyzstan, and for example, there you have right now a law that's against non-traditional relationships. And you see that those laws can be used by governments. You can sweep people whatever way you want. Under each there's always a law to silence them, and this is a great worry. And it's also these kind of laws that is what we also focus upon. That we get attention for that, and are very much opposed against that.